Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us. We're hoping that a few more people might log on who registered for this webinar, but in the interest of time, I think we will make a start, and if people have missed the start of the broadcast or had any technical issues, they're going to be able to watch on our website. I'm Tori Ha. I'm the project coordinator for Future Leaders 2018. And I am joined here today by Jackie, who is part of the 2013 Future Leaders program, and we also have a couple of other CRC people off of camera helping to filter through your questions to make sure that I'm able to get to as many of them as possible. It is possible that Olivia, who is part of the project team, may pop in during the Q&A to answer a question or two, but we will see how we go. There are a couple of different things we're going to talk about today. First, I'm going to provide an overview of the program and application process. I'm not going to repeat all of the information that we have on the website, but I hope to just go over some of the key dates and go into a bit more detail about some of the different components of the program and how to apply. I think this is going to take about 15 minutes. I want to make sure that we leave plenty of time for your questions at the end, and I would encourage you to also look at the information on our website, including the Applicant Information Pack if you haven't already. After this overview, we have Jackie Den here, who was one of the 2013 Future Leaders and was generous enough to come along to share with you a bit about her experience of being a part of the previous version of the program. While this new program is a little bit different to the 2013 one, I think hearing from someone who was part of it will still help give people an idea of what this kind of experience may be like and the impact that it may have. Finally, we'll do our best to answer your questions. You can either ask questions about the program, or you can also ask Jackie some questions about her experience if you would like to. If you type the questions into the question box, which should be on your screen as can be seen in the image on the current slide, then you will be able to send them through to our laptop to be able to see. Applications will open today following this webinar and close on the 9th of March at 5 p.m. This is in Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is the local time here in Brisbane. So we'd encourage people to take a note of those dates and times. We expect to let people know if the application was successful or not on the 29th of March by 5 p.m, which is just before the Easter long weekend. We don't expect that there'll be any delay to this announcement, but we would let you know by email before the announcement deadline if there was going to be a delay for any reason. There are several components to the program which each build on one another and reinforce each other. What we're wanting to do is provide people with lots of opportunity to learn about themselves and about leadership, both from the information we present and the experiences of other autistic individuals who are interested in leadership. We don't have final dates for all of these quite yet, but we'll let people know final dates and locations as soon as we can. The Future Leaders journey will begin with the online training from April to early June, where people will be able to start discovering and sharing knowledge about leadership and reflecting on what it means to them. This will then be expanded and reinforced during the face-to-face workshop. One of the things that came out of the feedback we received through our evaluation of the 2013 Future Leaders program was that people who completed that program would have liked an opportunity to put into practice what they learned through the program. So one of the things we've added to this program is a volunteer placement, which will take place between August and October this year, and give people a practical opportunity to apply what they've been learning and further develop their leadership skills in an organisation which is wanting to learn about and be inclusive of your needs and perspectives, and with the support of the program and your mentor. Sorry, I just went the slide a bit quickly, but I will just keep going with what I've got here to say. Future Leaders is informed by the autistic experience. The majority of the members of the project team are actually autistic adults themselves, and we are all working together to design and deliver the program as a co-produced piece of work. We're doing the best that we can to make the content authentic, inclusive and relevant to emerging leaders in the autistic community, and keeping an appreciation of neurodiverse ways of thinking and being at the centre. We're looking forward to learning and growing with the 2018 Future Leaders group as part of a shared journey, and we hope that the experience of Future Leaders 2018 will help inform and keep improving any future programs going forward, so that hopefully more autistic individuals can benefit from the empowerment, leadership training and mentoring into the future. The online training component is expected to start on the 9th of April. Your login instructions on how to use the customised e-learning platform would be sent to you the week before the online training starts. Each of the modules is expected to run over a 2-week period, but you'll still be able to access the content and the online discussions afterwards. This isn't intended to be a formal course, and there are no tests or assignments. Instead, it's intended to help people start doing some learning and reflection to help explore and develop who they are and how they might want to work towards becoming a leader. It's also a good opportunity to start to get to know the project team and the other future leaders before we're all able to meet together face to face. How much of the content you engage with and respond to will be up to you. The themes of the 4 modules will be self-discovery and goal setting for Module 1, leadership for Module 2, advocacy and influence for Module 3, and resilience and self-care for Module 4. The elements of each module will vary slightly, but they will all include a video from an established autistic leader with an opportunity to ask them questions, a series of online resources such as articles and videos which relate to the areas discussed in the module, and up to 5 short activities which will allow you to engage with and reflect on the areas explored and share your thoughts and opinions with others in the group if you would like to. The face-to-face workshop is expected to take place in early June and will build on some of the themes explored in the online training, as well as helping develop other leadership-related skills such as problem-solving, strategic thinking and collaboration. We hope to provide a safe, informative and interactive environment for people to learn, grow and connect through a mixture of presentations and discussions. People will be able to ask questions and provide feedback at different points during the workshop so that we can keep checking in with people to ensure that they're comfortable and they feel like they're able to engage and contribute. People will also be free to take breaks whenever they need to. The content of the workshop will be co-produced and in many cases delivered by existing autistic leaders on the project team who are willing to share their insights, knowledge and experiences. We will let people know where and when the workshop will be as soon as we're able to. The Autism CRC will cover the cost of flights, transport to and from airports and accommodation, as well as some meals. This will definitely include lunches and morning and afternoon teas during the workshop days. Whether other meals will be provided will depend on the venue, but we'll confirm arrangements with people once we know, so that people have as much clarity and notice as possible. We will also work with the venue to cater to any allergies or dietary preferences. I also wanted to give people a little bit of a sense of how to expect the 3-day workshop to be structured. We anticipate that people will fly in the day before the training really starts. After people arrive, we may have an introductory session to let people know, let people meet each other and to let people to know what to expect and sort out issues with accommodation and just give people a general chance to settle in. This would be followed by 2 full days of training, and then we'd have a 3rd part day of training which would wrap up in the early to mid-afternoon, and then people would start to head home from there. We also expect that there will be some optional social events during the evenings. And to just give you an example of this, when we ran our last Autism CRC Research Academy workshop, we had a trivia night and a movie night in the evenings. You'll be linked with your mentor after the face-to-face workshop. They will draw from their own experience as an autistic leader to give you advice and support during your placement and as you plan for your next steps after graduating from the program. We will provide more information about what to expect from one another during the program, and what the relationship will look like will be different for each person, as every mentoring relationship is naturally different. Future leaders will complete their volunteer placement in between the face-to-face workshop and graduation between the months of August and October. What you will be doing and what this will look like will depend on a lot of different factors and will be different to everyone. We will work with both you and the organisation between the workshop and the start of your placement to help plan for your placement experience. This will include working out how you'll reach the 50 hours. Some people may want to complete their placement hours within a few weeks, while others may want to do a few hours or a day a week over a longer period during that length of time. Following the placement, the graduation will provide people with an opportunity to reconnect and celebrate with their fellow future leaders. This may be held in conjunction with the CRC's AGM in early November, and we will also be inviting program partners and sponsors to attend this event. We also plan to include an opportunity for people to be able to provide feedback and to debrief about the program. Just going to have a quick drink of water and then we'll move on to the application process. I just wanted to go over the application process a little bit. There are two parts to the application and both need to be submitted by the closing date for your application to be considered by the selection panel. Part A is an online form and Part B is 5 selection questions that you can choose to answer in your choice of an online form, a PowerPoint presentation, or a video. After the webinar, the link to the online form will be active on the Future Leaders webpage. There will be 2 links to click on depending on how you want to respond to Part B. And you can see a preview of the form on the slide. Whatever way you choose to respond to Part B, Part A will be an online form completed through Qualtrics, which is a survey and research software. It's actually really simple. All you're going to need to do is click on the link and the form will open in your browser. It'll look a little bit different from the picture if you log in on your mobile phone because the formatting is just a bit different on a smaller screen. After you open the form, there'll be some introductory information to read before you start typing your answers into the form, and you'll submit it once you've completed all the questions. The first section of Part A will ask for some of your personal information, such as your name and email address, while the second part will ask some questions about your experience. Sorry, I'm deciding because I'm going to change slides. Thanks.
Just decided to freeze.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Noah. The Your Experience section of Part A will ask you about things like courses you may have studied or places where you have worked or volunteered. The purpose of asking these questions is just to let us know a bit more about your background, your interests and your experiences. There are no right or wrong answers, and you don't need to have a particular kind of experience or experience relevant to every question to be considered for the program. Whichever of the 3 formats you choose to use to respond to Part B, You'll be addressing the same 5 questions, which are: why would you like to be a part of the leadership program? What are the skills and personal characteristics that you think give you potential to be a successful leader? How do you seek to make a positive difference in your community? How would you like to impact your community to make life better for the autistic and autism communities? And why do you think it's valuable to have autistic people in leadership roles? You can choose whichever one of these 3 methods for answering Part B that you feel best suits you. Each method has its own word, slide or time limit to try and give people choosing different methods of addressing the selection questions the opportunity to share similar amounts of information with us. The instructions for using each method are in the Applicant Information Pack, on our website. If you choose to use the online form for Part B, you will submit both Part A and B together. If you choose another method though, you'll have to email Part B to us following the instructions in the information pack, and you'll need to follow those in order to make sure that we're able to open it and that we're able to link it to Part A of your application. And I hope that starts to give people a bit more of an idea of what the program involves and how to apply.